Good morning, good morning, good morning, fellas. How are we doing today? Welcome to the new Patrouski stream setup. Welcome to stream recap 175, covering what's happening every single day in the PokeMMO video game scene, of course. And then also right now covering lots of Shiny Wars. There's only around 4 or 5 days left in the official Shiny Wars, so we're running out of time. There's not going to be much time to do things, so much so that I'm going to have to figure out how many eggs I can actually make within that time and how can I actually hatch them. If I make the eggs but then I run out of time to actually hatch them, it's a waste of time, and I have to be very, very careful about that and very strategic and purposeful in my planning from this point forward when going for those rare shinies. However, it's important to note that I am mostly just egging. I am mostly just going for shiny Shedinja. I'm only going for these rares. I don't care about times 3 horde shinies, times 5 horde. I want to see a rare. That would make everything worth it for me throughout Shiny Wars. Is it the most efficient way to play? No, it's not, but it's the way that's going to make me the happiest while also going for big points for my team. So that's what I've decided on. I've got 5 more eggs in this little box here. We've got tons more boxes of eggs to hatch. I'll probably end up hatching as many as possible today, probably doing a few alpha breeds, maybe setting up some breeds for the future. Thank you guys for the subs coming in today. Good morning, as well as maybe doing some Nincadas. We will be getting over 34,000 encounters today. That'll be exciting to see. And then on top of it, let's go ahead and collect our Pokeyen. I sold off a few PvP mystery boxes, which may seem weird. Why do I have those? Why was I selling those? And we will hopefully see why and see the answer to that as well today. Good morning, guys. Let's see what's happening in PokeMMO, and I will catch you guys up on everything I can, giving tips and tricks on this wonderful game. I guess as a quick recap, it's been a few days since we've done one, so it's always nice. My 5 shinies that I've gotten throughout Shiny Wars consist of Cryogonal at 112,000 encounters. We'll do the math as well in the bottom middle. Cryogonal at 112. The second Cubchoo at 52,000-ish, I believe. The third Cubchoo was at 22,000 encounters. The Kakuna was at 49,000 encounters. And then the Marowak was at around 13,000 encounters, I believe. And now I'm currently around 34,000 encounters dry. So currently should be somewhere around, if I tracked everything correctly, should be somewhere around 282,000 total encounters. My total encounters have slowed dramatically because I've just been focusing on eggs. So I'm doing like 600 encounters a day, like not much. That's just how slow eggs are, you know, and also how slow I am, true and real. But we'll take this number and divide this by at least 27,000. My honest shiny rate throughout all of Shiny Wars should be somewhere around 1 out of 26,000, 1 out of 27. I've been on a lot of charms. Team Mr. has been permanently popping charms. That was before. I think JW Tree said that he has spent like 120 mil, 150 million Pokeyen just in shiny charms, which is like 500 plus charms, something ridiculous. Let's do this number divided by 26k, and let's see an accurate representation. How many shinies? So currently sitting at 10.8 shinies is about what I should have gotten. 10.8 shinies on average. So if we take that number, 282 divided by 5, which is the amount of number of shinies I've actually gotten, giving me an estimated shiny rate of 1 out of 56,400 as opposed to that 1 out of 26k. So surely that's okay. A little unlucky, you know, could be worse. Could be Karoshi luck. Surely the egg is boiling, fellas. The egg is cooking. This is legitimately a good question, and it's worth talking about. Someone said, is it almost a good time to mass sell Mysterious Balls thoughts, question marks? I've been slowly selling some of mine off. I'm gonna be super honest. I like talking about when I'm right and when I'm wrong with investments, and there's still a few days, so I could technically still be right. We'll have to see how last minute FOMO it becomes, but I think I was kind of wrong, and I'm not afraid to say that. I really thought that there was going to be a last minute, like, okay guys, like there's only a few days left in Shiny Wars, only 1 week left, like everybody in the team dump the rest of your Pokeyen into Mysterious Balls, like let's try to, you know, get something last minute to get it, you know. I thought there was going to be a last minute panic, and it doesn't really seem like there has been. I feel like Mysterious Balls are kind of at the same price they were. And it's probably due to a few factors. It's probably due to, number one, the supply is probably just greater than we realize, because there's, like, I see a lot of numbers listed here. The supply is probably greater than we realize. It's not that crazy, to be fair, but supply might be greater than we realize. Number two, I think people are turned off from the idea of opening mysterious balls for Shiny Wars after that one guy, was it Gamer 2020? This guy dropped like 5 to 7 grand, I'm pretty sure USD, on mysterious balls, and opened them for a few hours, and, like, once again spent like 5 to 7 grand USD. I don't know if it was all Pokeyen or just credit card swiped, but he only got like 5 points or like 7 points for Wars. Like, unbelievably, like, not like, it would have just been better. It would have just been better if he just legendary stream, though. Yeah, it would have been better if he just dumped it into like I've been saying for a long time. I actually think it's more efficient to do like Nincada or do like or eggs, right? Like, those are actually, if you're gonna credit card swipe at that point, eggs are a little like, they take so long is the problem. But if you're gonna credit card swipe, you might as well go fossils. You might as well go Shedinja. You might as well go like one of these like quicker but like tier 0-ish, tier 1 hunts. So I feel like people are really turned off because of that, right? And then the other thing is, I think that people are just tired, man. People are exhausted. I did not, as someone who plays a lot of like competitive video games, right, and like goes for like these long-term grind competitions, 2 months is just, we've said it a million times, but it's unfathomable. People are sick of it. People are tired. After 2 months of shunting, they're kind of just like, if we win, we win. Like, they're, so many people are like, dude, like, it's just not worth dumping like the rest of my net worth into mysterious balls for a chance at, yeah, I think we overlooked the fatigue / demoralized factor. I definitely did, as someone who like doesn't, you know, I didn't consider it, but it's been, this is some of the most, it's crazy, it's wild. 2 months is just obviously extremely fatiguing, and I super underestimated that. We all knew it would be crazy, but it was even crazier than we all expected, for sure. I really do like talking about it. It's really important to talk about when I get things right and when I get things wrong in a market. I would say about like 60 to 80% of my market, it's a big range as well. My market predictions are pretty correct, but I was wrong on this one, and I want that to be apparent so people don't take my financial advice, and not that I, you know, give all my opinion and my thoughts of what I do, right? This is where I always put my money where my mouth is, and if you want to follow along, you can, but I don't really recommend it, especially if you're gonna like blame it on me, right? Because I'm not always right. I get things wrong. I don't want people to lose their Pokeyen because of me. I don't want that burden. Like, you can make your own decisions. There's always, it's funny, there's always going to be a group of people who think that I market manipulate, and that I always like make money because I'm doing something behind the scenes or doing something manipulative. And then obviously you can see it's not the case, because sometimes I lose. Like, the biggest example of, oh, I'm not, you know, here to just pump and dump, is sometimes I lose money on investments. Like, sometimes I don't do well. Sometimes I make the wrong call, decently often, at least 40% of the time, right? That's how it goes. No matter how long you've put into something, no matter how much time you've practiced or learned a market, they're so complicated, they're so unpredictable. I'm never gonna get things 100% right, and I want that to be I will never even get things like 80% right over my lifetime. Like 60% is probably what I aim for. So just always take that with a grain of salt. If ever anyone is so confident about something, be very, very skeptical of that. This is a good question. Pat, do you think it's worth catching your own Dittos with your own payday Vaporeon? If you're doing it on an alt account, like if I have my laptop set up over here and I was doing it on the side, and that's considered, the RuneScape community would call that 0 time. If you're doing something like efficiently on the side or whatever, you're not interrupting your efficiency on your main account, right? Then I think it's worth it. I personally, and do whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you happy is the right answer. But I personally think that catching your own Dittos on your main account is super not worth it. Like, it's so inefficient, and so at that point you might as well just do any other Pokeyen money making method and then go buy your Ditto boxes. If it makes you satisfied, if it makes you happy, sometimes I still do it occasionally personally, just because something's like inefficient doesn't mean you shouldn't do it ever. But I think it is wildly inefficient to catch your own Dittos, is what I would say, on your own main account. I would do it on an alt account if you're going to do it, or just make Pokeyen and buy your Ditto boxes. I feel like the funniest thing about the eyeball vanity is that when you're in like this screen, it still blinks. I don't know why that is very weird to me. How many other vanities have like an animation in their like the trainer card? I don't think there can't be that many, right? The fact that it still blinks in the trainer card is a very funny detail to me. You don't see this every day. There's not too many of these guys in the game, but this is a shiny Raikou. You can tell the tail really gives it away, the greenish tail, comparatively to like the more yellow, right? But that is a shiny Raikou over here. Also from someone who is teamless. That's kind of crazy. Legendary shiny from someone who is he snuck away is like pretty crazy to see. Usually shunters who have those like super are like claimed by some sort of team and in some sort of community. That is wild to see. Okay, I feel like this is kind of interesting and worth talking about. There are a collection of moves and items right now that are actually banned in PvP due to bugs in Pokemon. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this, so let's go ahead and go over the list just in case you were thinking about using them or something like that. Temporarily banned moves / items due to bugs. This is posted by Munya, who posts most of the main PvP updates and forum posts. Psychic Gem plus Future Sight interactions are broken. All damage-dealing trapping moves are temporarily banned from competitive play. The list as follows. Bind, Clamp, Fire Spin, Magma... I don't know if anything Pokemon gets Magma Storm. Magna Storm, Sand Tomb, Whirlpool, and Wrap. And then Sky Drop has been banned from Ubers / doubles until a bug is addressed. The above Sky Drop ban has been extended to all tiers due to a bug with the UI. So it's just important to see. Nothing like, it's not like Flamethrower or Fire Blast or Swords Dance is getting banned, but like I think Psychic Future Sight is a legitimate set, like on Slowbro, for example. So I think seeing certain things like this is always important, and being up to date on what's happening in PvP is always important. Is catching Nincada and leveling up to level 19 a good money-making method? Probably, man. It's probably aggressively underrated. I would love to do a test. I'd like someone have to put more like actual research and testing into it, but absolutely. Level 19 is Nincadas. So Nincadas already sell for a really solid base price of usually around 3k. In fact, when they're under 3k like this, I usually stock up on them, which I'm gonna go ahead and do right now really quick. One sec, and then I'll show you guys. Okay, level 19 Nincadas are more valuable, 8k a piece, because this is the level right before they evolve into ninjas, which you can use for Shedinja hunting. So you can go ahead and buy this and use like one, I guess, large candy or one like smaller XP candy, right? You could probably do a medium or even a small, like a small. This is enough XP, right? And that will save you money in the long run. I actually probably should be buying these, hilariously. Like this would even save me money. I think it would save you money in the long run. And you can essentially just shunt Nincada super efficiently. Yeah, this is like, yeah, it's faster. It saves you money. Honestly, I probably should start buying these. Hilariously, it probably would literally save me money to do that. But yeah, that's crazy. I think there could be some really good money there. I could be wrong, but I think there could potentially be. It might just be better to catch Nincadas and whatever. But you could even buy the 3k Nincadas and level them all up to 19. That's kind of interesting, and see how fast you could do that. That might be really fast, honestly. A small margin, but you could do a lot of them. Kind of interesting. I think someone should test it more. I've said this a few times in stream recaps, but it's always good to reiterate like news and information like this. This is my personal opinions once again, so take this with a grain of salt. In my personal opinion, I do think that the shiny market is going to be hit pretty hard at the end of war. Players can currently not sell their duplicate shinies they've gotten through shiny wars, because if you sell or like trade or breed one of your OT shinies gotten throughout war, it won't count towards your total points. So there are people with, I'm not joking, 10 or 12 shiny cryogonals, right, who may not want to keep all of those, may want to recover some of their Pokeyen losses. They probably spent hundreds of millions throughout shiny wars. There's going to be people who are listing off and selling 5 to 10 Cubchews, 5 to 10 cryogonals at the end of war. I think cryogonal is cryogonals, I think this market will actually get like fucked. I actually feel like shiny cryogonal market may never recover, because it is a genderless Pokemon. It's a genderless species, right? So you only can breed it with other cryogonals, so there's not much benefit to like buying them for breeders, right? So it's kind of unfortunate in that regard, but that's okay. It's honestly, it's not that important of a shiny, I guess, or whatever, right? It's cool. It's good to give for Christmas, right? But or winter holidays, right? Whatever you want to do. Cubchoo, however, is in the field egg group, right? So I do think that the field egg group, in terms of shiny breeders, is going to get hit a bit. I don't know how hard, and it will recover over time. but in the short term, it wouldn't surprise me if the male field egg group and things like the field egg group in general kind of get hit. Depends how many prismatic pearls Cryogonals give. That is true. That is true. Cryogonal will probably reach base price. It'll probably reach prismatic pearl price, in my opinion, or like close to it. We'll see if things like, I don't know how many people, the other things are a lot more complicated. Like, I don't know how many people have like duplicate Marowaks from like the Sock throw Marowak spot. I don't know if like the monster egg group will be affected. It's tough to say. Cryogonal and Cubchoo are a lot easier because that spot was so good that every person was there, right? Every single player was there. We were all in Cryogonal jail together. So I think those two markets will be affected. Yeah, does using a shiny as a parent affect edge shiny rate? Yeah, if you breed two shinies together, there's a 100% chance the edge comes out shiny, which is one of the big reasons why breeding a PokeMMO consumes Pokemon. As well as, you do have to, if you want to keep OT on your shiny, which is extremely important, you do have to breed in a very specific way, which I have a guide for if you Google a shiny breeding guide. And then I think one of the most interesting stats in relation to this is the devs once said on the forums that 60% of shiny Pokemon that come into the game are consumed, which I think is very impressive and very interesting. So 60% of the shinies that come into the game are either bred away and consumed as breeders or consumed via prismatic pearls. Those are the two ways they can be consumed. Okay, mostly for fun / shits and giggles, I'm going to move over to Route 45 in Johto and just do some single encountering down here with expert lures popped. And that's just going to be some background encounters. It's going to work me up to 34,000 encounters, which is a nice milestone, as well as just doing something while hatching eggs. I really don't want to see a horde shiny if possible, but a single encounter shiny wouldn't be the worst. I will say if I run into an explosion Pokemon here, I might have to Master Ball it, which is okay, like a shiny Geodude. Yup, exactly. I'm okay with just Master Balling it. I mean, actually, I might need to bring a Dampmon here is the problem, because the problem is if I get a double battle like this, it probably kills me, right? Ooh, I might need to go grab some really quick then. Good call, chat. Let's go grab. Ooh. But at that point, we probably just go different location. The cool part about this spot is that there's, I believe, Quilava, and there's Squalava Starmie. There's like two different rares here, so it's a really, really cool spot. Yeah, let's go grab. I do want to mostly hatch though. Let's just go grab a catching Parasect with Damp, just in case. Yeah, this will mostly just be for fun and to just do something in the background. And also, I'm hoping for that hyper niche chance of a legendary. A shiny legendary would just be, it'd be very Patrouski, you know, to go as dry as I have over War. Obviously, I'm only 34,000. I'm not that dry right now, but in the totality of War, quite dry. To have something insane happen on stream during the last few days of Shiny War would be like the Patrouski luck of like extremely unlucky into extremely lucky. That's just how my shutting career has always been. I've always been extremely unlucky, but then I get extremely lucky to even it out. All right, it's another sad clip of the day where I have to give an update on Kuroshi's shiny luck, which is some of the driest I've ever seen. I think this actually, no, I'm sorry. I think this is officially the driest shiny hunt I've ever seen in PokeMMO that I believe. I've seen people claim things like 1 million encounters dry. I don't personally really believe that, but Kuroshi is currently 382,000 encounters dry of a shiny during Shiny War. Also, I know that like I think 57,000 of those encounters at least are eggs, and there's also like 15 or 16,000 fossils in there. Like, it's not just all ×5 hordes. A lot of it is like rares as well, which is, it's just beyond human comprehension. It's actually disgusting. Kuroshi has put so much time in Shiny Wars, and to just be punished like this is, it's like almost, it's cruel. It's cruelty beyond belief, and it's unbelievable. It's so insane. Good luck to you, Kuroshi. Imagine the wet streak, though. I'm hoping we see something insane before the end of War, hopefully. Good luck, Kuroshi. Yeah, the Pokemon community is much older on average comparatively to, I mean, other Pokemon games and just probably gaming in general, right? Because of two reasons, right? There's like two players who play Pokemon. You're either here, number one, to experience nostalgia for generations 1 through 5, which are probably like above 22 at that point. Old, or you know, at that point, you're basically just dust and bones, right, guys? Oof, a ripe 22. And then You're either here for nostalgia, which you're probably old, or number two, you're an MMO player, which means like you're also older. You're even older than the Pokemon boomer. Like if you're either a Pokemon boomer or an MMO player, which is even older. So you're one or the other. Either way, I think the average age in my community is somewhere around 24 to 35, something like. We are an older community on average. I'm 26 for reference. This is actually a great question. Is it toxic to mass list Pokemon one Pokeyen lower than the Pokemon already listed on the GTL? I actually think that's fine. This is a personal preference thing. I think undercutting one Pokeyen is actually based. It's the people who undercut like 2K on like if everyone's selling Ammonites, right? For like 5K, and then you list 200 for 3K, you're a psychopath. You're losing out on so much Pokeyen. You're fucking the entire market for a short period of time for no reason. That kind of underlisting, in my opinion, is all opinion based. You know, it's do whatever you want to do, right? Free market yippee, yeah, you know, it's all opinions. I think undercutting by a couple thousand on a bunch. If you're selling 5 Ammonites and want to. But sure, but even that's a little weird. Just sell one Pokeyen. I think going a few Pokeyen under or a few hundred is fine. Undercutting that much, I'm agree. Now, if it's like competitive mons or like, obviously price checking is so complicated and has so many layers, it gets a lot more complicated. You'll often see me, let's say I price check like a competitive Dragonite, right? And the one I'm comparing mine to is like 250K. But mine has like worse nature. I might go, or like whatever, I might go 200K then. That's not, I'm not really undercutting. It's more like this Pokemon is worth less, etc., etc. So it really depends. But yeah, those kind of like, I'd rather someone undercut me by 1 yen than a few thousand and fuck the market for a longer period of time for no reason. My first shiny flip attempt has been a flop. That is super normal and super fair. I'm sorry to hear it, Aaron. I want you to know it's okay and it's normal. Shiny flipping is very difficult. It's very difficult. We're also in a very weird market for shiny flipping. Shinies are selling kind of slow because people who have a bunch of shinies and shiny hunters aren't buying shinies to breed right now. They're waiting until they're shiny hunting during war, right? So if you have shinies to sell, it's tough because if you have a field ed group Pokemon, a field ed group shiny, you probably want to sell it now and get rid of it before Cubchews come out, but also no one's really buying them. And then also it's this really weird shinies in terms of buying to breed or flip, whatever. It's a tough market right now. It's a tough market. I would just wait a few months, honestly. But I think shiny flipping is amazing. I think shiny flipping will be huge after Shiny Wars. It will be very high risk, very high reward because the market will be moving so much. If you preemptively buy something and then it goes down, then you're kind of screwed. But you could find some really insane snipes as well with people mass listing a bunch of leftover shinies. So it really depends. It'll be high risk, high reward. High risk, high reward post wars for sure. Great questions. Man, it's felt like a weird day on stream. I've pretty much just done like no encounters today. Like all I've pretty much done is just sat here and hatched eggs, which doesn't actually get me any extra increased encounters. Obviously, it's you know, cashing in on those encounters that I prepped earlier, but I'm not getting anything new, right? Which is kind of, it sucks to see the encounter counter just stick there. We are at over 34,000 now, but it's really demotivating. I'm probably gonna start buying Dittos. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start buying Dittos and prepping for another batch because I wanna get some encounters today. I wanna get some encounters on stream, get those numbers up. We have a lot of Pokemon prepped. Maybe I'll even do like an hour of Nincada. I feel like that'd be fun to like get something done. I feel like I'm not doing enough today, so it's good to switch things up in Pokemon to make yourself feel satisfied in that way. Make you feel like you made progress today. So I'm gonna go buy a bunch of Dittos. We're starting at around 7.7 mil. We'll see what I end up with. Probably under 7 mil, probably like 6.2, 6.4 after buying enough Dittos. If chat has Ditto boxes, I will buy for 220K. Chat, I have an idea. There is an alpha Dragonite right now, okay? Which I think is very cool. And I was just talking about how cool it would be to do an hour of Shedinja and just feel like I'm doing something, you know? I'm gonna buy 2 while I'm actually at this price or whatever. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick up a shiny charm, okay? I'm gonna go pop shiny charm. I'm going to do this alpha Dragonite encounter, give myself a chance at a Shalfa, head back to the PC, and then do an hour of Shedinja. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm gonna pop charm. I'm actually gonna check the Dragonairs first, okay? So we're gonna pop charm. We're gonna do it in the perfect order, okay? We'll check the Dragonairs first. 0 for 1, okay? There should be 3 Dragonairs around the swarm. I only see the 1 so far. See if we can see. I saw a second one, but I don't see the third. It's up here. We'll check the farthest one for second. 0 for 2. No shiny. Can you guys? Now, Dragonair actually wouldn't be that good of a shiny for Shiny Wars points wise. It's not bad, but it probably only be like 6 points or something like that. Okay, the final Dragonair, and the cool reason, the reason to do this or whatever is like, if I get the Shalfa, it means that every single encounter, like every single step along the way, like if I checked in the opposite order, like this mattered so much. So here it is, the chance at the Shalfa Dragonite. We don't see it today, but that's okay. We're gonna head back and do some Shedinja hunting, which is one of the rarest shunts in all of Pokemon, which is very, very cool. Very expensive shunt, very unique shunt. I am gonna try to quickly quick ball the Dragonite. It's really, I think it's like really unlikely that this works, but sometimes it does. Yeah, not today. That's okay. What are the chances EA brings back EA Bid at some point? I mean, honestly, now that we're getting backyard sports returning, like if you asked me that question like 2 years ago, I would have said like pretty much 0 or like unlikely, but I hope so. But with backyard sports returning, I feel like it is more likely we see something like EA bring back the EA Big Sports division, bring back things like NFL Street, bring back things like SSX Tricky, like that franchise. Like, I think it's more plausible than ever. There is a strong demand for sports games because sports games kind of suck right now, and they can be cool, you know? So we'll have to see. Little video game take of the day weaved into the stream recap, but yeah, well, hopefully, man. All right, that is 30 Nincadas taken care of. Now we just go ahead and release these. It is not worth keeping them, unfortunately. We just release. We want the space. I can move on to. Before I move on to doing some more Nincada, I'm going to go breed these alphas. Since I'm already on my own charm, I probably should go ahead and breed whatever I have access to, whatever I have extra. Let's head over to Unova really quick. We'll just pop some of these alpha breeds that I went ahead and set up. This is from Awkways, the leader of Team Mister. I think I have 26.8 thousand hours or so in PokeMMO. Once I started egging, the hours just started flying by. I mean, yeah, that is insane. Like, people think I have a lot of hours in this game. There are players with 3 times this easily. That's not easily, but that's consistently over a long period of time. That is crazy. Is it just me, or do people not talk in Pokemon MMO? Pokemon, there used to be a lot more active, like I feel like in local chat, but the game's gotten a lot bigger and it's a lot more international. So there's a lot of language barriers in the game, and that's not anybody's fault. You know, it's just like something to be aware of. Like the amount of times I did a video where I was trying to like give away a bunch of free Crenidoses. I literally did a video that was like, do you want a free Crenidos or double it and give it to the next person? Because I had so many Crenidoses left over from my shiny hunt. I'm pretty sure the last person ended up getting like 512 Crenidos or like 200, something ridiculous, 256 or something like that. But yeah, so many people I whispered in game to be like, hey, do you want a Crenidos or do you want me to double it? They just didn't speak English, which is fair. I only know one language, so what can I say? I'm not trying to like, talk like that, but it's something to be aware of. There's a lot of language barrier now. There's a lot of Spanish speakers, a lot of Mandarin speakers, a lot, Portuguese. There's a lot of different languages a lot of people speak, and it makes it a little bit harder to communicate with players you might see just running across. But all you can do is I try to Google Translate a lot. Honestly, I try to just do my best, and it's all you can really do. It's the sign of a growing game. An international game and a growing game is a good thing, in my opinion. That's also true. The chat system is just archaic in PokeMMO, so a lot of new players literally don't know how to like look at whispers or how whispers work. That is super, super true. All right, this will be my last encounter here on this charm. I did not get the Shedinja encounter quite on the charm, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and log out here. I'm going to try my best to track how many encounters I did. I did release around 65 or so. So we released 65. On top of that, we did some alpha eggs. 65 plus, what's the math here? Let's drag these all around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 3, 21. 21 plus 67-ish plus 7 for the thing. Only 95. That feels bad. Am I missing 30? I don't think so. Actually, it's possible. No, I don't think so. I think that's just right. I think that's just accurate. So 95 encounters in that hour. Oh my goodness. Shedinja encounters are slow. They're very, very slow. But there's no like egging or there's no hatching or anything like that after. So let's do 72 plus 95. Gonna give me 167. 34,167 is my new encounters dry. Not great. I'm gonna go ahead and hatch the alphas that I made and see if we could see something spicy today on stream. That is a cool 2012 OT, Clarko. Now, I don't think that is actually from a developer. I think it's just someone with the OT, like the name developer. But that is very cool. That is cool. It's cool to keep an eye out. Clarko's been really good recently about keeping an eye out for 2012 and 2013 like OTs. Like someone bought a Dark Shade OT the other day, which is an actual like old PokeMMO developer. It's very, very, very cool. Yeah. This brings up a fun fact. Someone mentioned, hey, I won't say the name of the person. Don't do this. This is against the rule, but do not do this. Someone said, my one buddy is going hiking for 10 days, and I was curious if I could trade him my Jimmy Run team and do Jimmy Runs for him while he's gone on his hike. You cannot do this. This is account sharing and against the rules, like making progress for someone else on their account while they're not the one who's logged in and playing or whatever. Fun fact, someone was actually busted for hiring, like paying people to this is a rumor years ago, so I should qualify that, but someone was busted for paying people like over like across the world to basically like shiny hunt for him. Like he would basically like pay people on Fiverr across the world and pay people to and then he got banned for it. And I feel like that's why account sharing has to be against the rules, because you can end up being able to pay people to progress your account, which is not fair and even to everyone, you know, on the server. So very funny rule that has to be in place, but something to watch out for sure. All right, we claimed every single Ditto, like 300 or something that I had in my mail. Okay, so here's everything. We still have 60 more eggs to hatch, which I am working on. I can go ahead and get all of these organized. Being able to just take this line and drop it over is so nice. We used to have to sit here. I used to say you would spend hours prepping, or like you would do this. You would spend so much time. Like, okay, before my next batch, let me prep it, and you would do this. Go on to the next one. It is so much faster to just bloop, done. Bloop, done. Bloop. It's this UI, the PC UI overhaul was honestly one of the most underappreciated. It saved so much time. One of the most underappreciated updates. Saved us so much time. Was so big for Shunters. So sick to see, man. As I'm getting everything prepared, I think this is going to be a good time to call it, guys. I'm exhausted. I am exhausted, dude. Shining Wars has been taking it out of me, okay? But I'm trying my best to push through and do everything I can do. I'm going to hatch the rest of these eggs, and I will see you guys tomorrow, starting tomorrow, with an hour of egging, an hour on Charm, maybe popping some Mysterious Balls. Some people were saying they were subscribing to HelloFresh today, which is amazing. If you want to support the stream, the best it's ever been, the best way it's ever been possible to support the stream, HelloFresh, link in the description. Like the stream if you enjoyed it. It means the world to me. Subscribe for daily PokeMMO videos, just Pokemon videos, Pokemon MMO videos, Twitch primes, YouTube memberships, all that stuff above me on support means the world. And that's it. Just have a great day. Good luck in your shuns, and hopefully we can see something amazing before the end of the shiny war. But if we don't, we'll go through some other amazing people who have gotten some amazing shinies. Okay, I promise you that. So I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end of the video. That really means the world to me, and it means even more worlds to me if you go above and beyond and support my content financially like all of these lovely people have done. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.